Okay, we have ourselves another ladder game to watch. This is going to be a point of view of Matrius. So Matrius is a player that's in the Champions League. He's in the S tier tournament currently. And I respect his decision to play nothing that's OP. He's basically not nothing that's OP, but he's playing what he likes in that tournament and maybe not getting the results because of that, because there are some things that are just busted, but he wants to play his gods, which I can respect. And one of his gods that he's very strong with, that isn't potentially the best god at the moment thanks to some recent nerfs, is Poseidon. So we'll see how he can pilot Poseidon on the ladder, playing against Firefox's Hades. I wanted to watch from Matrius' perspective. I think he's a very, very strong player. The other god that he plays, which maybe isn't considered so strong currently, is Loki. And he's probably the best Loki there is. Loki is, I think, currently considered so weak. But Matrius did manage to get a win with it in an S tier tournament against some strong opponents. So I think there is something to Loki, and maybe you need to play him in a certain way to be able to get some wins. But it's just nice to see that there are gods that are viable, even if they're not considered like strong on a tier list, basically. But Poseidon is going to be coming in for Matrius. We'll see what he decides to go for. I need to swap him over to the left side here, because he is on the left. I mean, historically, as Poseidon, normally what you do is you advance very, very early. You put some pressure on with your Atalanta, maybe Theseus, depending on the matchup. Sometimes you want to leave Theseus back at home. Sometimes you want to send him getting relics because he is a little bit slow. With your Atalanta and free Centaur, get some damage done, and then kind of see where you want to go from there. You can go full Chrono JJ style. He's someone that likes to go for the mass Hippias, lots of raiding on the left side, raiding on the right side, doing something like that, and just getting a lot of damage in early. Or you can use those couple of units to get some pressure on, grab a town center, if it's a town center which gives you some food, like there is on this one. What is the map? The map is steppe, so it's quite an open map. Actually, this is probably as good as a steppe town center gets. Normally, you don't really want to go for one on this map because it is so wide open. No, this isn't live. This happened, it was like half an hour ago or an hour ago or something. But it was today. So we will be watching, seeing what the Catacopus comes in and sees. Firefox obviously going for his Vault of Erebus, which you would expect. I'm sure Matrius is going to come in and probably scout that that's happening. You can just assume that that's happening from a Hades anyway. And we are seeing the Hermes about, 320 something-ish. So not as fast as you can go, but quite early to get some decent damage done as he got his Theseus. Has seen a relic that he wants. House hit points increased. You can use houses as a wall. It's just a fine relic to get. It's not like a break the bank kind of relic. It's not going to change the game, but it's just worth grabbing. This one, minor gods are cheaper, which is okay. Again, it's nothing really that big, but you do get the extra favor for just grabbing relics. You mentioned Poseidon playstyles, and you didn't mention the Cyclops Rush, or the Forward Temple Cyclops Rush. That is true. You can go for that. I don't think it's probably good against Hades, just because Hades has plenty of answers to it. One's coming out right now, Ajax. The other one is been dropped down as well, the Sentinel Zom. And this split of villages does make it look like Firefox wants a second TC. At least from what we've seen, just from Matrius having a little run past. He could not. He could just be grabbing some military buildings, going for something along those lines. And we'll see what the Atalanta and Centaur can get done. On the back, Matrius has dropped a stable. It's got plenty of villagers on gold. Not building anything out the stable yet, so not fully committing to it, but he can grab some Hippias if he wants to, or if he sees something else where he wants to go grab a town center, it's going to be very easy to move some villagers around, move some over to wood, grab a town center very, very quickly. So not fully committing to anything just yet, and that's definitely a top level thing to do. Atalanta is popping in. He's also got his Theseus and some goats around the settlement, so he'll know if Firefox is grabbing this one. I assume that's enough line of sight to see that settlement. Should be. And then Matrius has looked on this side. There is also an option for Firefox to sit back here and grab a village center, which will need a Pegasus or the Catacopus to go in and actually have a look. But we've seen I think Hades is one of the only gods that we see consistently drop a village center. Village centers are like are less than a town center. They cost the same amount. They're very weak and they get villagers at a slower rate, but they're better than nothing, if that's what you kind of want to go for. What's this relic as well? We see buildings more resistant to siege weapons. There's no crazy relics here, but a decent amount of favor coming in, and the Pegasus is going to be coming in for Matreus, which he does want to see what's going on. He doesn't know what Firefox is doing. He knows he hasn't grabbed either town center. So what is he doing? He could be going some kind of fast heroic situation, or he could be massing units. He could have that village center, so he needs to go and have a look. I think Matreus here, he's just assumed that there's a village center coming in. We saw that Firefox has come in with his Catascopus, noticed that settlement straight away. And the Pegasus is going to come have a look again. And we can see from the UI, I really wish there was a way to turn this off, because I want to watch from just what Matreus knows, but we see there is a village center. Achilles is going to try and come through and at least put some damage on these villagers, but Atalanta should be more than enough to deal with this one, especially with the Hippias. There is a way to turn it off? Is there? I didn't think there was. What, just for one side? Or if there is a way, it's gonna improve this series. And actually, Firefox is deciding to grab some hunt right in the middle of the map. And Firefox so far only has his base units. Okay, we have now seen a Hoplite, which is going to deal with the Hippias pretty nicely, but the Centaur versus Hoplite should be decent. Nice bit of micro pulls away from the Achilles, and the Minotaur is going to be chased down by the Atalanta. Nice play from Firefox, though, just to shank away with his villagers, kind of ring around the rosy, around the granary. Oh, tried to do a bit of micro there to kind of animation cancel, but was too quick. And it might be an Atalanta for Minotaur trade, and Minotaur does go down. She does get out with 27 HP. I think Firefox got more value out of that free Minotaur than he probably should have, considering the position of it. So well played by him. But Matreus still does have his Atalanta, and even with 27 HP, she can get something done. She gets focused down this next fight, though. Could go down pretty quickly. I think that's what Firefox will do. A nice bit of micro again, just to pull back that 6 HP unit. And the Centaur, unfortunately, two shanks from an Ajax. It's going to go down. Really trying to bait these Hoplites back. Nice focus fire also, just to make sure that he's going after the low HP units rather than the Ajax. Ajax, though, does notice they're very, very low HP. And I think Matreus, he's trading pretty well here, considering he is up against the kind of counter defensive units. Settings UI show global queue. Oh yeah, true, but then we don't see it on this side. Basically, what I want is a way to take off the blue completely. But there's plenty of other things that are way ahead of that in the priority list, basically. And Matreus does manage to push back the villagers back to the main base. They're going to be sitting underneath both sentinels with these chickens here, so they should be nice and safe. Some Toxotes actually bringing in as well. There is a stable, two archery ranges, one stable. A market is being dropped down, so a potential heroic cage after this could be coming in to get a nice bronze timing, or even just a curse on some of these units to then push through again. There is a little bit of a cheeky hunting operation on this top side, but Firefox defends it nicely. And actually catching out some of Matreus's low HP Toxotes. Unfortunately, Achilles getting a little bit lost. There we go. And this is the issue with bringing archers forward. I think I mentioned it yesterday in one of the casts, but this is very common in AoE 2 to bring forward a lot of archers, because you can dodge so much, and just how the game kind of works is you can get away with bringing your archers forward. The issue is if you have even just some Hoplites there, Achilles there, they go down so quick. They've got hardly any HP, hardly any armor. And you have to be really careful with them. Hades can't do anything against Hippias Tox. Is that because of all the Athena nerfs? Is that the reason, or was it never an easy option? Well, actually, Matrius going for. I thought he was going to go Heroic Age, but he is actually grabbing another TC, grabbing a forward TC on this side to secure his gold mine and a nice hunt spot. Pegasus is going to be looking around. I think he has checked this TC, see if it's happening. So he is now 3 TC against one and a bit TCs. I don't think he ever even scouted the village center, but he just knows that it probably happened. Firefox is bringing his Pegasus over, and it's so expensive to get all these walls up, but it's something, if you're playing this kind of defensive setup with the 3 TCs, it's something you are going to have to do, is get these walls up. Gets enough time where if the hoplites are going to come in and do some damage, you can bring the Hippias over for a bit of defense, or even just bring the villagers back while the walls are going down, get them back over here. And actually, the Firefox army is extremely slow, and it's over this side, so unless there's some kind of underworld coming through, he's probably going to be absolutely fine if he keeps around knowing where the main bulk of units are. Survival equipment, Dionysus on the way, so is going for that Heroic Age. Medium Tox, medium hoplites. And I think Firefox only has a few more units than Matrius. And Matrius running away with his Hippias nicely, but leaving his villagers, unfortunately, they do have that survival equipment, and actually forces out the ceasefire. Probably not something he wanted to do, but he is getting up to the next stage. We'll be able to get some more upgrades for his units. No real upgrades for his Hippias. Did decide to go Lord of Horses. It's kind of just the default one that you always get if you've got a couple of horses out. You get the regen on them. Why not? But no Spirited Charge, no nothing. Not even deciding to get any villagers on the temple. But it does have all the relics. So all 4 relics is going to equal like half a villager praying, pretty much. More units being spammed out. Is going to be able to use the bronze. There is a restoration from Firefox's side if he wants to use it, but he's just going to run away. The issue is these Hippias are just going to nip at the Toxodia's heels here, and he's going to take down so many. Could kind of do a 180 back turn to get some damage done, but then the bronze is kind of going to take full effect. So Firefox is just saying, yeah, I'm just going to lose some of my units. It is what it is. And you're going to use your bronze, and I'm going to have another Heroic Age God Power to use at some point. Matrius does run away, but I think he got some decent value from that. Managed to take down quite a few Toxodies. Why not? The Hydra backing up this side. The villagers did decide to come back onto this forward hunt spot. The Hydra's going to be happy nomming those up, but Ajax, Achilles both in. Nice pullback from Matrius. Oh, some of them getting a little bit confused, but the Hydra should be able to get away. Nice scouting again from Matrius. He's on it with these Pegasus. He has spotted where the forward gold is being gathered from. Some of the gold mines are just absolutely wild. Matrius managing to secure his gold mine with his fortress. This side's been secured for a while. This Pegasus has been set up there, so Firefox hasn't decided to send any units over. And from Matrius' side, we believe Firefox is still just sat on that village center. Oh, the Greek war. Yeah, we don't see many Greek wars. That's why I wanted to watch this one. Matrius going in with his favorite god. It's Poseidon. Firefox and Aetherial in a queue means they love Greek wars. Yeah, true. I think Aetherial plays a lot of Japan now. And the Hippias are coming up. Still just unupgraded Hippias. Maybe looking for a Mythic Age kind of situation here. And it's going to be huge value. These guys don't have their survival equipment, so they're all going to go down here. But while this is going on, Matrius... Oh, looks like there was actually a nice curse. Because they weren't medium, it means that the curse takes out more units, which is actually pretty huge. Pretty huge curse from Firefox, and being able to take down the town center with his hoplites, which was securing this gold mine somewhat. Not many villagers on it, so kind of fine. But is going to be able to lose those. Needs to pull back the militia. You do get a decent amount of militia from that going down, but deciding to... Oh, and we just missed this villager raid completely, unfortunately. But another raid coming in while grabbing this side. So a third town center again, but deciding he wants to be securing this side and then putting pressure on where Firefox is actually getting his gold. So kind of moving over to the other side. One Petropolis doing a grand old job. Atalanta can put a stop to that, though, if that's where she's going. Actually, Matrius kind of spread out on the map on so many different gold mines. Unfortunately, this was a little bit greedy, so Firefox catching him out pretty nicely. Going for town center number 2, a little bit late. Now gold mine secured on this side. Still has 4,300 in this side. Unfortunately, the town center's full, so a nice little counter raid. Unfortunately, didn't finish that one off, but doesn't want to lose all his units. And this match is just being spread all over the map. But Matrius has managed to get his third TC, his third main TC. And the hoplite's still running amok. I think this has stitched up Matrius's eco completely, because he's had to move gold mines about 3 times. And I believe he was looking for a mythic age. I don't know. Just looking at his, looking at the amount of food he has, you probably wanted to look for some kind of mythic age timing. It is often what these Greek players like to do. Fortune's coming up on this side. This side will be absolutely fine. A nice wall coming up. Do you have to watch out for that bear? You need to bring over 2 villagers, but actually these villagers do notice it. Nicely played. And this gold has been stopped. I assume Firefox is up here. You would assume that this is probably the only one he can get to. Am I going to cast any of the 3 games versus Tunison? I did watch them, and potentially the Hades game was pretty cool. Maybe we will whack that one out. Firefox again trying to just get these little raids off. Would just be worth getting watchtowers at this kind of stage. If he's going to be sending 3 to 5 units around, just get your watchtowers. Not really worry about it. But there's enough villagers to shank back. Absolutely fine. Metropolis coming through for Firefox. Maybe he is just still on this gold mine. And that's a second curse. It's not often you see curse number 2 coming in. Pretty wild. Normally we see second restorations, but deciding to go for the curse on all these Toxodes. It isn't based on HP anymore, though. It's based on how much the units cost. So if it was HP-wise, like it used to be, then it definitely makes sense to use it on a whole bunch of archers. Now the Nemean Lion in. What's the hero situation? There's only Hippolyta out, but I think 1 Greek hero to deal with, 1 Greek myth unit should be fine. The issue is that Firefox has all of his guys. Now we are seeing Matrius go on to the favor. Didn't have a favor gatherer for quite a while, so prioritizing that one. Yeah. Firefox has 16 villagers on favor. How much favor is he getting in? Oh, 0 per minute. Well, why does it not show up? Is it because I can't see? It just doesn't. 48 per minute. God damn. What a guy. So Matrius doesn't know this because he hasn't scouted it, but there is going to be another restoration and potentially another curse coming through. It's like 3 Mikos worth. I was actually thinking it's probably just what China gets when they're on 3 TCs anyway. I don't think Egyptians can ever get that. Even five monuments. Another 5th monument's pretty good, and we never see it because it's so expensive. But but I don't even think a 5th monument quite does that. Fortified town centers, get in, making sure to get his levy upgrades. Always a good idea when you get to this stage of the game. It's got plenty of military buildings for now, though, but barely using any stable. It's got 1 stable. So even though you went like the double stable path, where you get the super hippiest, not deciding to go for that one, I guess wanting the hoplites and peltas to deal with this one. This is restoration coming in. I think the restoration was a little bit late. A lot of the units had died off beforehand. Oh, there was some peltas back here. Need to maybe zoom out a little bit. And Firefox going in for that counter unit Greek army that we see probably more often than not. Peltas and Hippaspis. Maybe 5 monuments Anubis? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is about 5 monuments Anubis. Or 5 monuments during eclipse. So I think Matrius was just happy with his position down here. He's defended. He needed his gold mines. He's going to push Firefox off of this one. Actually, he hasn't been back to it after that raid, so there was 5k left in it. So happy to split the map, let Firefox take this side. He's going to have access to this gold mine. We assume he's been on this one for a while. We don't know, but from what Matrius has scouted, those are the only ones that he possibly could be. And also, Matrius has taken a lot of this one anyway. I mean, not that this is kind of a gold-starved situation, but you always have to be cognizant of where your next gold mine is, what you can do with it, and that sort of thing. But Fortress is up, and a slow Petropolis push. I think most times I've seen Matrius play Poseidon, he does go somewhat of a fast mythic. Not super fast, but he does end up going there sooner rather than later. But decided to hang out in the Heroic Age. Has he got Heroic Age upgrades? Yes, he does. He has bronze armor and bronze weapons. So not looking for some kind of Hephaestus power spike. And because he's got those armor upgrades, or he's thought about it for a while to get those, he's going through Artemis. And actually did manage to get that relic earlier. So it's a cheaper Artemis, pretty much pre-nerf Mythic Age Artemis there. 1,080 of each. And we'll see what an Earthquake can do. I've seen some chatter about how Earthquake is super weak. I just think we just don't see it because Hephaestus is so good. But this is definitely the situation for Artemis. And Artemis's tech for your poison damage on your Toxotes and your Peltas is so good. I think that's one of the best techs there is. One of the best Mythic Age techs for the Greeks. Super strong. Especially if you've already got your armory upgrades anyway. Kind of face tanking all of these. Restoration number 3 in, thanks to those 15 villagers sat on favor. I don't think there's even any micro coming through for these Toxotes. There's a lot of micro from Firefox. He's sniped down all of those Peltas. But Matrius knew he had the superior numbers, basically. So it just looked like he just attack moved. And we're like, yep, deal with it. Nice protection coming through. We're not even going to get to see the Earthquake. But nice protection of these Petropolis coming through right at the end. And it was just, yeah, just played this matchup so nicely. We did see the village center here. So grabbing a TC versus village center, and then this was a really nice pickup of this town center rather than the Heroic Age coming through, and just a nice clean Poseidon game.